Just take a leg. Bring it in. Add a zing to your brew. Experiment with flavors. Try something new. We're here on the mic. It's a beer lover's dream. As we kick it back, we always build that team. Check your equipment, we'll guide you through. With a little hot magic, the craft starts with you. So grab your gear, let's make it a night. Brewing the best, let's keep it tight. The mic's blasting and the brews keep rolling. Join the conversation, homebrewing's calling.
You're listening to the Beer Craft Homebrewing Podcast. Tune in every Wednesday night at 6:30 Pacific for a dose of beer and brewing banter with your hosts, Ben Holm and Andrew Ziegler.
So hop aboard for a little wit and wisdom in the Pacific Northwest, because it's always beer 30 on the Beer Craft.
So I had a moment in the beer aisle this week.
That's usually where your moments happen, Ben.
$16.
For what?
4 cans.
Oh.
And I just stood there holding it, like doing a little quiet mouth like you do when you're trying not to look shocked in public.
Seen you do that.
Yeah, groceries are up, gas is up, everything's up. But this 4-pack? What the hell?
You flipped the can over, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I checked the ounces. 16-ounce cans. So I did the conversion. I did a little math.
You're that guy, right?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
$3 per 12-ounce can.
Oh, 3.
That's not...
That's not grab a few for the weekend. That's more like making a money decision here.
And it's not just the store, right? Taproom pints over $5 for 12 ounces. Stadium beer, fucking forget it. 9 to 12 to 15 to Jesus.
You didn't even go to the Super Bowl this year, did you?
No, I don't even know what
imagine what the
how
beer
much
was
they
there.
paid for there. That's
I don't know.
ridiculous.
Probably at least 27.
I mean, that's not it's no longer
is a bold
beverage.
statement, right?
It's no longer a beverage. We're talking about an event just to drink a fucking beer.
Right? It's a bold statement.
It's sort of when it hit me. Brewing might be the only hobby that actually gets cheaper the better you get at
it. You read my statement, and then I read mine twice. Okay. Where am I? Because you read my statement. It's not a beverage. That's an event. So $9 for 12 ounces?
$9.
That's not a beverage. This is an event.
And that's sort of when it hit me, man. Like, brewing might be the only hobby that actually gets cheaper the better you get at it.
That's a bold statement, Ben.
Yeah.
I like it, though.
Yeah, it's not political. It's not political. It's practical.
Okay.
So today we're talking about how to make beer cheap again.
I can already feel the emails coming.
Relax. This is beer math.
All right.
And beer math doesn't lie. Let's get right into that with a little, we'll get right into it after
we need some inspiration.
I'm going to fix this line.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it after we get a little inspiration for a little thing we like to call Beer 30. Andrew, how the hell are you, man?
Dude, you know it. I'm doing good.
God, wouldn't cheap beer, like, I was cruising in the marketplace.
Yeah.
I was cruising in the marketplace like, oh, we're doing a cheap beer show, right? Like,
I was pretty happy when you showed up.
Yeah. Well, I was
probably brightened my whole day.
I was looking for cheap beer. I was like, okay, what's the cheapest beer we can get here? And then I saw it, and I was like, well, I don't want any of that. It was like there was a garage beer. I didn't know who the fuck made it. And
garage beer is made by the Kelsey brothers.
Okay.
They're
is
cheap.
It any good?
They're out there. Drink that
that's
beer.
a confident ass. Yeah, right. No,
it's a Pabst.
No, yeah,
it's a PBR.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Well, then I saw the Rainier Tall Boys, like $9.99 a 6-pack for those. So.
That's what it is.
That's like I will drink Rainier, but that's, again, it's not what I want to drink right now. Right. It's not what I want to do. I don't want to go on the air drink.
I don't know who's behind the Kelsey brothers in that whole thing.
Wednesdays feel like a good night. Like I get to hang out with a buddy, drink some fucking beers, talk about beer. I don't want to drink a bunch of shitty fucking beer.
Nope.
I'm not saying PBR and Rainier is good, but like I don't want to fucking.
For me,
it's not what I want to do. Like I can drink Rainier on the cheap side at home. So it doesn't inspire. How about that? It doesn't inspire. So I was looking for the cheapest craft beer, and like we've had a lot of 10 barrel on the show. Like, I don't want to. Andrew's Bar, we already got a 6-pack of those. Like,
yeah.
So
what do you call the like a schmoozy boo a bougie
beer,
a chic beer, you know, like the
like any of the Michelob Ultra would be bougie beer,
like
right?
The
like
garage beer is like
no
celebrities making a beer, right?
Oh, they'd probably be making seltzers.
Yeah,
over
what do you
beer.
call those kind of beer things? They're like you know, just the fringe stuff, the bougie,
I don't know. I don't hear about a lot of celebrities opening up breweries, which is kind of
not breweries.
They buy distilleries.
They don't have.
They want gin and
they
tequila.
don't buy their own distilleries either. They just
they pay for it. They just pay for it. Yeah.
They just put their money behind it.
Yeah, they put some money in it.
They get paid billions in the end because their name.
Right.
Yeah. So what would that be considered?
What would it be like? Well, that's
celebrity type.
God, celebrity investment kind of like.
Or is behind the celebrities.
God, I mean, like, is there a term for it? I'm trying to think. It needs like a cool term, like celebrity sharks or something like that. Angel investor, celebrity angel investor, and the
angel sharks, angel alcohol sharks.
Yeah.
Cheers, Ben.
Yeah, cheers,
I'm
man.
not. I know what this tastes like.
Well,
I know
yeah.
It
So
like.
I couldn't find it. You know, I couldn't find a cheap beer I wanted to drink
Golden
today,
Road again.
Yeah, mango cart. God, I like this beer.
Have we had this 3 times? On the show?
This is the 3rd time. It's
in over a year.
Well, I'm going to Mexico next weekend. Or this weekend. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So I was.
All right.
I want to drink some.
So
I want to drink
good.
this
You want to
beer.
prepare?
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta get in the mood.
Is this a pog?
This is the mango.
This
Pog
mango,
is
this is mango. Which is the pog? You brought
Pog
that back,
is
didn't you?
the passion orange guava.
Yeah, you brought that back from somewhere.
There was a Pog. I had a Pog beer in Hawaii when we were there last, and that was pretty tasty.
We had an episode about Pog.
We did. I
Something
remember
like
talking
that.
about it
Way back when.
You know, the way back machine.
Yeah.
Speaking of like getting ready for Mexico,
I
was
think
craving
we had this beer during that episode.
possibly. I was craving michelada.
Oh, micheladas are
the other
so
day.
good.
Oh my god.
Oh, you got to get it with the strawberry.
Oh, the chamoy
sauce, like a jelly. Oh.
Yeah, my sister-in-law brought some of that from the Super Bowl, and I was like, I don't know if I want that.
Yeah,
but hers, I don't like. So
then
she
dipped in
drinks.
tahini?
She drinks those with the michelada with like tomato sauce in it, or clamato kind of tomato-based ones. And that is not my jam. I am just like a Worcestershire lime and hot sauce on the tahini rim. That's my favorite michelada.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm hungover on the beach in Mexico. That's that.
Well,
one
you
does
get
pretty
get
good.
that Worcestershire into the jelly. It'll stick longer.
Yeah, well,
Stick to the rim
she
longer.
was dunking her can of fucking White Claw into the chamoy. I'm like, that's a fucking mess. I don't want to get like I have facial hair, man. Like I have to. It doesn't come off. You know, you try getting peanut butter out of carpet, man. Get your chamoy out of your beard.
Nobody's
Yeah.
looking at you cross-eyed.
No, it's not the
everybody's looking at you
eyes on me.
cross-eyed.
It's like shit. My face is sticky and I can't get it off. Like
After the week,
I can't go.
After the week, you just have this
No,
crust.
and
where
the
you just-
sign on the
you
pool
just
said no
hold the cup
chamoy
up
in the
and drink.
pool, right? Like, reacts with chlorine, makes noxious fucking gases. It's a terrible idea.
Really?
No.
Then
no.
you take it behind you, and you can go backwards with it nauseousing from your
Right.
snout.
Yeah. Any rub. But so I brought the mango cart. Long.
Thank you, sir.
Short story long. I brought mango cart because
Mango cart, perfectly balanced craft
I
wheat
don't know.
ale.
It's so good. This
Made
was
with,
L.A.
This is
God-
made with real mangoes.
And I've tried. I haven't
duplicate
tried
this?
real mangoes. I tried to make a mango wheat beer. And
Did you use an extract?
It was the nectar.
The
We brought it
nectar?
on the show and like did the lineup, didn't we?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe, yeah.
It was mixed results. Like the lowest dosing of mango actually tasted the best, and I suspect because there's a fair amount of dextrose in the those elixirs or those extracts or whatever they're called. There's a fair amount of sugar that just dissolved or just fermented and carried a lot of aromatics with it. So
Yeah.
that's what I suspect happened because I had ratios of like half a liter to a gallon to 3 liters in a gallon kind of ratios, and the half liter one was the best. It was the most mango. The rest were kind of like meh. It's a wheat beer.
Yep.
I'm missing the mango.
It just comes off.
Yeah, it just
So we need to do like pressure brewing.
something or I got to try a bunch of real mango in there and see how that goes.
Yeah, I was just thinking a way to how it not gas off.
Fruit additions, I would probably do a late addition of it.
Yeah.
So that it's not with the bulk of the other sugars.
No.
Yeah.
Probably want to always secondary it.
Most of my fruit I do.
That's what I do.
Raspberry I'll put in primary because you can always find raspberry in a beer. Yeah.
But when you put it in primary and it eats it, it's a little different.
It's
I mean,
a
when it eats
clunky.
it quick.
It's a pretty stable aromat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we can generally.
I'm gonna have to try that.
I've done it in secondary as well, but I've also blown it up in secondary, just adding like little hairs on raspberries, like become like a sublimation site, and fucking gases rapidly expand and fill your airlock behind your back while you're washing your hands. I know, I've been there.
So you need to thoroughly freeze these suckers, mash them in the bag, and then.
Well, this was a
add them.
puree, and it still had enough
Still
of them
have those
intact.
hairs in there
It still had enough of them intact to have a beer
it's-
eruption.
because it still has the
incident.
hairs in there,
Yeah.
and the hairs are holding on to that O2. Yep.
Well, so the hair just began that little microsurface.
Yep.
Causes gas to go sublime.
Right, because it has all the little, what a hair looks like. I mean, it's like scaly, on micro
Yeah,
is
yeah.
scaly. So I mean, even you
Jagged
go
edged.
yeah, you go to more micro where oxygen is, and oxygen is on all those surfaces. So it's huge.
Carbon
surface
dioxide
area.
quickly turns into a gas, sets off a chain reaction, and bubbles up out of
Oh,
your.
is it the CO2 that's stuck in there?
Yeah, CO2 from fermentation.
Yeah.
Just kind of there's one atmosphere of CO2 after fermentation, which is quite a bit. And it all came out at once. It just started gassing off, and like this, so many like grade school volcanoes, right? The baking soda and vinegar with food dye in it. Because this was red from the fucking raspberry. Just this pink foam comes rising up out of my carboy, all over the floor.
How did you clean that up?
With a mop.
Yeah. Did it stain?
No, I mean,
Lucky.
It was concrete. We just mopped up.
Okay.
Yeah. There was lots of stains on that concrete floor.
Yeah, if it was the
It was a
kitchen,
garage,
watch
yeah.
out. Or when I did that in my bedroom, luckily it was just a regular beer with hops, not a raspberry beer. Because oh man, all my clothes would have been stained.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. You'd have to like go have a tie-dye party just to make. Yeah, I think maybe I'll just like load some raspberries in like a pellet gun. We'll just shoot you with them. That'll be kind of fun too. Like I don't know. I'm already out of beer, so I'm gonna pour myself another one.
You
'cause
got a drink?
Apparently, I was thirsty.
You went through that fast, Ben.
It's a
That's
good.
like a
it's,
double beer 30 for you.
It's a tasty ass beer. Measured in 3 sips.
It is good.
Yeah.
Easy drinking.
Wish I had some. I didn't bring any tahini to go to rim the glass.
I don't have any.
Yeah, I had some. It is not looking great. It was up on top of the stove, and it looks. I think the heat got to it.
I should have some. I mean, I'm a horrible host.
Yeah,
Horrible host.
every household should have some. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I should like?
All right. Well, I'm excited for today's show. Make beer cheap again, or
We're making beer cheap again.
we're just making
Since
cheap.
you had a
Making
heart
beer
attack
is
in the
cheap.
grocery store today.
Making beer is cheap. Maybe that should be the slogan.
Make beer cheap.
God damn
Make
it.
cheap beer.
Make better beer cheaper.
Making cheaper beer.
I don't know, what if I-
Make good beer for good prices.
Someone will fit in a hat.
Hey.
So
This
stick
beer
around.
won't cost you that much.
Stick around. We're gonna do a little show a little love to our sponsors here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna finish this beer.
Always
Get
start
on to my
this-
third one.
Always start this out with
and
a
we'll be
good
back.
commercial.
We'll
For
be back in a
Northwest
couple
Brewer
minutes.
Supply, of course.
Cheers.
In the craft beer system, the people are served by 2 equally important groups: the brewers who make the beer and the bartenders who serve the pints. These are their stories, presented by Northwest Brewers Supply. Mazda Man's beer ran out by the end of the big game. Mazda Man knows the best way to run out of beer is by drinking it. He also knows the best way to avoid such a scenario is by shopping at Northwest Brewer Supply today.
Beer News with Andrew, where I come and give you international stories, national stories, state, maybe even your local backyard. All right, what up, hopheads? Hey, brewing has always been a balance between the arts and the economics of it. But in 2026, that balance is shifting fast. Rising costs, thinning margins, and a changing beer drinking base are forcing breweries to get leaner, smarter, and more inventive than ever. Today, we're looking at 3 stories that show how the industry is cutting costs without cutting corners and what that means for the beer in your glass. So the lager advantage, efficiency becomes a survival strategy. Craft beer is facing continued declines with retailers swapping slower moving craft SKUs for faster moving alternatives. That pressure is pushing breweries towards simpler, more efficient production, and lagers are emerging as that strategic answer. Breweries are embracing moderation, drinkability, and high efficiency brewing to stay relevant and reduce the waste. So these lagers offer a lower ingredient complexity, less hops, a more predictable fermentation. They're a little bit longer, a little bit more predictable, higher batch consistency, and better alignment with the shifting consumer tastes. This shift is part of a broader kind of a recalibration as breweries navigate the rising costs and the declining shelf space. So this great reset, the consolidation forces operational efficiencies. The U.S. beer market is in a great reset with closures outspacing openings for the first time in over a decade. In 2024, the U.S. saw 399 brewery closures compared to 335 openings, a sign that operational efficiency is no longer optional. Breweries that survive are leaning into streamlined production lines, reduced SKUs, reduced amount of beer that they're pushing out there, smarter energy use, leaner staffing models, and more efficiency in packaging. The rising operational costs and a 2% national dip in the beer sales are accelerating this shift. Efficiency isn't just a cost saver, it's becoming a defining trait of the breweries that make it through 2026. So even the imports are feeling the squeeze. Cost pressures driving smarter sourcing. Imported beer, long a reliable growth engine, hit a downturn in late 2025 with a 2.6% decline in dollar sales and a 4.2% drop in case volume. Tough comps, rising logistic costs, and shifting consumer priorities are forcing importers and domestic breweries alike to rethink sourcing and production efficiency. This trend is pushing breweries towards local ingredient sourcing, contract brewing to reduce overhead space and cost, more efficient distribution partnerships, and leaner packaging and shipping strategies. The slowdown is a reminder that even global brands are tightening operations to stay competitive. So what do we take from all this? Whether it's the rise of efficient lager programs, the industry-wide reset forcing breweries to streamline, or the pressure of imports to rethink sourcing, one thing is clear. 2026 is the year brewing gets smarter. Efficiency isn't just a business strategy, it's becoming part of the craft itself. And as the industry adapts, the beer we drink will reflect that evolution in ways big and small.
So you ever hear of girl math, Andrew?
Girl math.
Girl math. Yeah. If you got to spend $20 on,
I'm not
you get to
saying
spend $20 more.
I'm not saying
you
nothing.
save $10 on shipping.
Right.
So
So I need to go to the store.
Okay,
I need to go to the store and buy something just because I can save something.
Right.
That's like maybe 20% of what I
or
spent.
like if you spent money on the concert 3 months ago, it's free today because that money's already gone.
It's gone, yeah. It's
Yeah.
true. It's not out of this month's
and
budget.
it's not so here's a little thing humans do. Like it's not I'm not poking fun at fun at anybody, just a little tongue-in-cheek humor here. But, humans do have a tendency to assign value in interesting ways. This, mental accountability for how we spend money.
True.
We do it in all sorts of fascinating ways to justify our bullshit. In fact, from a sales perspective, I think all sales are made emotionally first and logically second. So
you got to capture that attention.
You want it now, and then when you get home, you figure out the way to justify it to yourself later. Like a Porsche. I think all Porsches probably sold that way. As a matter of fact, it's fucking sexy. Don't you want it? Yes, I do. Here are the keys. Sign here. And
sign here. And
I think
it's
the shortest fucking sales process. Like maybe not.
Because you have what is that, hook, line, and sinker?
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I saw these things about girl math, and I saw some guy math about like if I buy this drill driver and all of the things I get to fix and build with that's saving money. So this drill driver, this new tool is
you don't have to hire a handyman,
fucking free now, right? Like that's kind of thing. But there are some interesting, like, beer math is a little bit different.
Okay, now tell me what you're talking about here.
So, when I was doing some of the calculus on this stuff, in the grocery store, I was using a little bit different math. I was converting everything to a 12-ounce kind of standard.
Okay.
So the cost per 12 ounce. Now,
right.
I take this from in breweries. A lot of times they're going to be using like the cost per ounce because you're going to sell at a variable volume depending on, cans and bottles versus
tulips or
growlers or crowlers or 6-barrel kegs to half-barrel kegs to whatever, or it's a contract and you're pricing it out for 4 barrels.
Right.
But your per ounce price is probably where is going to be like, that's the number your target is.
That's what we're looking at. That's what
everything's kind of scale from
But are you
there.
saying that we're looking at it at a 12 ounce
I'm
price,
thinking
like
in a homebrew landscape, I'm thinking about
price?
a 12 ounce unit.
What does it cost me per beer?
Right, or per 12 ounces.
And I need to
so I can compare it. So
remember that this glass I'm pouring my beer in is
a little bit more
as a 16-ounce glass.
But I pulled the entire contents of this 12-ounce can into a 16-ounce glass with the head. It's the right glass for the job. Like it with the head, with a decent head, you're going to fill up a 16-ounce pint glass, and that includes your foam. And I think your foam is a part of the program. I'm not a fan. Incidentally, I am not a fan of going to a craft beer bar where they fill my IPA up right to the fucking rim.
Right.
With no head.
Because you want to get
no bubbles,
less ounces per cost, right?
It's not that. I want the full experience, and that includes their aromas in the foam as I'm drinking the beer.
Yeah. Well, that's your perspective.
That is my perspective.
I know.
I think the brewery's probably costing that out a little differently.
To go to the brewery and get a full top beer, because you know what? I'll sip it up. I'll sip that down, and then if I want to, maybe swirl it.
Well, Guy
up.
Math would say that first sip is free because you paid for
Guy Math.
Yeah, you paid for some of it. Yeah.
Sip or 4. How long does it take you to get that, Dave?
So I converted it. Anyways, back to this beer math we're using today. I converted everything to 12-ounce pour in a way to, how do we talk about the same thing for the homebrewing landscape? Well, we make 5 gallons of beer, which nominally would be 53 pours. So that's kind of our baseline math, and effectively it might be 48. But if we can do apples to apples on a 12-ounce pour versus a can of beer, whether it's a 16-ounce or not, we can be having the same conversation. So that 16-ounce, those pint cans, 4 of those at $16 came out to, that's $3. Well, that's $4 a can, but it's $3 per. Right,
per
so
12 ounce.
Yeah. So you're buying 64
Why are we
ounces.
Fixated on 12 ounces?
Because that's going to be our unit. That's what we're using it. Because in homebrew, oftentimes we're bottling. We get started, we're bottling beer.
We're bottling beer now.
Most of us probably started out with bottles in homebrew. We didn't dive into kegs.
You usually have to start.
You got to do at least one.
Yeah.
But when you're getting started, 12 ounces is. I did. I bottled my first batches. Yeah.
Right.
I had a kegerator. I had a kegging setup.
Extract first.
No, I did. I did 2
okay.
extract batches, and then I made the jump to all grain. But I also had a kegerator. I just didn't have it hooked up for homebrew yet, so I bottled my first 2 batches as well. So I went through the rotation. Any road. That's why I picked 12 ounces, because every home brewer can relate to it. Whether they're brand new and starting out with bottles, they can at least relate to it, even if they're in the keg. So that 16 ounce 4-pack, that's 64 ounces of beer divided by 12. That's where that $3 per comes from. So the $13.99 6-pack, which seems to be a pretty popular price right now, they're already 12 ounce cans. That's $2.33 a beer is what you're going to be paying for. $7 taproom pints, and I've seen upwards of $9, depending if the farther south I go. If I get into a major metro, I can see like $9 pints in tap rooms as well. But at $7 taproom pint, $5.25 per beer.
Per 12 ounce unit.
Per 12 ounce unit. Yeah. That's kind of our price. And then so stadium beer, like 12, depending on what stadium you're in. I mean, like Everett Silver Tips, you might pay $12 for that kind of. If you go to
Everett Silver Tips, I think you could get it for $8.
$8. They're a little more reasonable.
Yeah,
Silver Tips.
They are reasonable there.
But most like go to Safeco or Lumen Field, and it's 50. High. It's up there. 50. Some of those are the tall boys, as well. So
they're like 20 ounces.
Yeah, and of course there's always like a big scandal over like the glass size at stadiums. Like, oh, you get the taller glass and it's $2 more. I don't think
they have very much of the pour anymore. They're like self-service.
Well, a lot of that so some of the big scandal. I don't remember if you remember, there was a big scandal because they were selling $2 more because smaller. The cup was a taller cup. So visually, it looked like more beer, and they charge you $2 for it.
It was the same
but you
amount.
could pour it into the smaller fucking cup and fill it all the way too, right? Like dimension, it's hard to gauge the internal internal volume of a cylindrical vessel.
One. How much was
especially
it?
when it's tapered.
More?
Yeah. And so it was like a big you're fucking scamming me. So there's probably a lot of that in the decision to go like, oh, here's a fucking can, here's a fucking thing, go for it. But $12 per pour, that's like a $9. That's like one can for $9.
Right. This is getting expensive.
Beer is kind of like
beer's an expensive hobby. Well, I know guys who have a lot of cellared bottles. Mm-hmm. Cellared bottles go $15 up.
15, 20, 25,
up to 75.
Yeah. And Matt, but if it cost you, what if it only cost you $1 to have that beer?
Really?
Or less?
Really? I can do
really
that?
You could at home. You could.
Nice.
I'm telling you. This is the way.
Okay, now I'm listening.
Anytime. I think the point is like beer. Anytime it's outside your house is going to be the most expensive.
Yeah, unless you're at your buddy's house and he brews good, and you go there and have a good time.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of like break down kind of the economy of homebrew. So if you're just getting started, even. You're going to spend, on average, I did a little research, on average, your homebrew starting kit is going to get you about $100.
Right.
100, 125.
Okay, that's my starter kit.
That's your starter kit. So $100 was kind of like
my first batch?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Maybe sometimes that is a coupon or it's a Black Friday deal or something like that. But $100 for your gear.
This is getting into this hobby, right?
Getting started.
Started. I mean, you said this hobby is one of the hobbies where it gets cheaper as I get better at it.
Well, we're going to talk about that too.
This is my first investment, right?
Your initial investment. And so that gear, that $100 in gear, that's going to last you for a couple years. So one of the things we do in
how many batches do you think I could get out of it?
Well, that was kind of how do we figure this out? Because you're familiar with like amortization, like your loan value, like your payments get split up over, at 12 equal payments a year for 30 years.
Okay, my bucket's going to last me.
So what they do for a business when it buys equipment will amortize the write-off of that equipment. You don't get it. So as a business, I can't just buy a new piece of equipment and write off the whole price of the sale is for the first year. If that was the case, everybody buy gear, you'd never have any expenses, and nobody'd pay their fucking anything in taxes. They'd just buy more shit.
Just buy more gear.
So the feds say, hey, you can amortize your deduction for this equipment over say over 3 years.
It's going to depreciate so long.
So if we do something very similar in beer, if we divide up
How long is my bucket going to last? What's my amortization
3 to
on my
5
bucket?
So 3 to 5 years, but I went with easy numbers. I said 20 batches. Like easily.
Oh, 20 batches.
Even if you just amortize it out for 20 batches.
I think you're going to get more than 20 batches.
Well, I think so too. I went with easy math. I didn't want I didn't want anybody to just have to.
You're being light here. This is okay. This is
I'm
making
being easy.
mistakes. You're being easy. This is making mistakes. Let's say I left it out in the sun. Let's say I scratched it.
So the cost of that,
okay, 20,
at 20 batches,
I'm on board with you.
20 batches, you're running $5 a batch. So that's the cost of each batch. If you add that to the cost of
that's how much
a batch
my
of beer
bucket cost
for your gear,
or my gear cost,
it's $5 per batch.
Oh, I just paid $5 a batch for my gear.
Right,
20 batches
over 20
divided
batches.
by 100, $5 a batch.
Yeah,
I'm leasing my equipment per batch of beer, making it $5.
So
I'm quantifying that. That's a cost I know.
How much did I spend?
My beer costs. Yeah, I'm following you now.
So, and at $5 per batch, at the total nominal of 5 gallons, 53 pours, that's 9 cents per pour. So every beer coming out of that, every bottle of beer, 9 cents of that was from your equipment cost.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty fucking cheap.
That's really cheap.
That's nothing.
You're absolutely right about this bold statement. And this hobby gets cheaper as I make better beer.
So then I start looking at the ingredient.
Ingredients are probably
this is a variable for sure.
Variable, and it's a pretty stable variable unless you can buy in bulk.
And the bulk pricing, yeah, there's some coin to be saved on bulk pricing, but I mean typically depending on your alcohol content or hop bill, right? The more ABV, the higher the alcohol content, that means the more sugar means more grain, so more cost.
Now, do we have a 12-pack cost? Are we going to be able to break this down to 12-pack? Because I know what I'm paying a 12-pack in the grocery store right now.
Well, we'll get
for an 8% IPA.
How much per 8% for an 8% IPA?
12-pack.
And what you're paying per 12-ounce can?
Right, that's anywhere from $20 to $22.
Okay,
that
so that's
doesn't. I think I got to add tax to that, but.
Even if we're not, so none of this calculus of the $16 4-pack did not include tax because we don't do that here in the States.
Right, 24.
I mean, like we have tax, but they don't fucking put on the label.
I'm at $24 a 12-pack.
That's $2 per 12 ounce.
That $2. I'm at $2 a 12 ounce.
Right.
Okay.
What if the same beer was 94 cents?
That's way more than half price.
Yeah, and you got more than 12.
That means I'm gonna drink
right.
more though. Does that mean I'm gonna drink twice as many?
Probably actually does.
I'm
Probably
gonna-
does. Yeah. So
I'm gonna
twice
go in-
the enjoyment
I'm gonna go in
for half of the cost.
I'm gonna have to run twice as far.
Pee twice as four. So it gets a little exponential with how many times you got to pee though. So back to the beer math we were talking about today. So typical batch of beer is going to set you about, and this is kind of based on some extract pricing, but it's on par with all grain depending on the beer. But you're looking at $35 to $45 average
A batch.
per batch.
A batch.
You're going to do like an Imperial IPA with 10 pounds of hops in it. That's going to be
Yeah, and $5.
yeah, some of those big ones might be $65 per batch, but that's a range of 66 to 85 cents, and it might go as high as $1.20 for maybe one of those big Imperials. But those big Imperials of you said 8%. I'm talking about big Imperial might be 10%.
9, 10.
Yeah.
Give me like 11% Imperial. I love that. 12%.
When you only want to
barrel aged.
12% beer for when you only need to drink one to get drunk.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, that's important.
You only got a half an
You're
hour
peeing
before
less.
that big meeting with the bosses. Like
Less
it's
waste.
a good time for 12%
More
beer.
alcohol, less waste.
Yeah.
What'd you say? A meeting at what? I'm not drinking at noon. What are you talking about? No, I can't drink at noon. Man, if I would just drink during the day during my job, I'd just be like all over the place. Blah, blah. I couldn't do my job. I couldn't do my job like buzzed. I mean, honestly.
It wouldn't be good for you.
No, I just
it wouldn't
can't.
be good for the work.
I just can't do it. I just can't. I just can't do it. I mean,
I work at a brew store. I have had beers on shift, and I think sometimes that's okay, and sometimes it might not be okay.
I could work at a beer store and be buzzed.
I lose all sorts of motivation though at some point. Like,
do you know how many days I was buzzed when I owned my own brewery? Every one of them.
The ones that end in Y.
Every one of them. And that was A-okay because I can function. I could do that. I could do that job. I could do that. I could be in that space. I could be me. I could do that. But for me to do I have a very technical job, and I can't do technical shit when I'm buzzed.
Yeah.
So yeah. So no drinking at noon for me.
Except when there's a meeting. Anyways, so some of the math worked out to like 75 cents to 94 cents per pour, per 12-ounce pour, and that was including your equipment, which is beating the $2 price point of a lot of beers. A lot of craft beers right now. You can there's cheaper beers out there. There's cheaper beers out there, but they're not the beers I want to drink.
Let's get back to beer math. Let's get back to beer math. When we have our 40th batch.
40th batch of beer. It's free beer. So that in beer math, that's free.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
That's right. God damn it.
Because at some point we've already paid for our equipment, and now our equipment is paying us back. Right.
Right. And some of the, when I said things about like, this hobby gets cheaper as you go. For one thing, you get to a point where you no longer need equipment. Like you're set up, your brew house is set up, and you're just making beer.
Well, there's expendables. You got tubing,
occasional
clamping,
expendables.
Yeah,
but it's under $100. It's probably under $100 a year in equipment.
Yeah, less.
Right.
I mean, just the expenses are the new toys that we get.
There's a bit of that.
Yeah.
In fact, there's an awful lot of dopamine that comes from like new shiny beer
and
shit.
then being able to use it for the first time, it's so cool.
But at the same time, like at some point, you get done. You finish buying all
and that's when your
kit.
Equipment gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper per batch.
Every batch is cheaper and cheaper.
Every batch it gets cheaper.
Yeah, you've paid. It's been paid for. All you got to do is enjoy the ride and make some more beer. But that's not even what I'm talking about. As you get better at brewing, you're gonna have less beers that you fuck up on, less beers that you want to pitch, less beers that suck. That's gonna make you want to brew more and drink more, and that's really good. But as it gets cheaper, you'll also you might devise beers that kind of that house beer, the kind of easy drinking every day, kind of like your own version of Rainier. Like all the flavor you want, all the depth and character that you want.
Do I go to the store?
That's just as cheap as Rainier.
Yeah. Do I go to the store every week and buy the same beer? Do I? If I do, then maybe I should think about making.
Well, I have staples that there are definitely like beers. Every time I see a Bodhisattva, like I'm gonna, if there's one of those somewhere around, I'm out to dinner. I'm gonna drink that.
Yeah.
So there's go-to beers.
I did Bodhi last night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This mango cart's starting to show up a little more frequently in my I gotta have that one.
That's good.
Kind of lineup.
No, this is a good one.
But I mean, I would drink a lot of Rainier. We used to have a saying in the brew shop during the summertime: one craft beer, then Rainier. Right? It's hot. I'm gonna drink a lot of beer, but I don't drink all my really expensive fucking beer. So at some point, I switched to the cheap beer.
My only problem is with that. My first craft beer, and then after that, I'm going to drink a Rainier. When I drink my first craft beer, it like makes me feel really good. Yeah. It's tasty. It's got a good kick to it. And then if I follow it up with a Rainier, I'm disappointed because I can't taste Rainier anymore. I can't taste it because it's flavorless, and
I think
it's not having enough kick on it. No alcohol. And
the phrasing was kind of born out of this. Like if you drink 4 or 5, like you're drinking a lot
now. Yeah. After 4,
after a certain point, and it's different for everybody.
It's done. You can't even tell anymore.
You can't enjoy. You're no longer enjoying the nuance of that craft beer. They're all kind of like, if you were judging them, like you can no longer be objective about the evaluation of that beer. So some of your objectivity about the beer you're drinking just gone.
My point was,
that's a great time to fucking switch to Rainier.
My point was, I'm going to drink the Rainier first. Drink the Rainier first and then follow it up with a craft beer. Because I drink all beer. I love beer.
It just turns out I like
beer.
Yeah.
I'll drink all beer. I'll drink whatever beer is there, whatever beer anybody has. Hey, taste this beer. I'll taste it. I'll drink it. And I'm not really going to say anything wrong with it. Usually, if it doesn't have a flaw, there's nothing wrong with it.
But I kind of like these. You know, I kind of like the idea of just having a beer you never want to run out of. Like, you know it inside and out. You've made it 1,000 times. It's always on tap. You know, for me, it's a tosser between like the Kolsch and a cream ale. Like
Kolsch.
the Kolsch is really good.
I like a Kolsch to a hoppy pale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pale ales, English milds are excellent options. Even ambers.
These days, I like a higher ABV, so I don't have to pee as much. Old man beer.
But kind of the benefits is like, you know, the recipe inside and out. Like, it's always repeatable. You already like it. You got you don't have to think too hard about the recipe, like about what to do on brew day. You just know your shit. Just keep that beer up. Make that beer. Don't ever run out. Blondes are another one that would fit in this category. They're kind of easy.
You know, blondes cost as much as IPAs.
I don't believe that's true. Why? They don't have they don't have the IBU range. They don't have the hop bills.
Well, if
and
they're
hops are like 2.5.
If they're a craft blonde or a craft like gold ale,
right, but it's still going to be
just as
25.
much.
That's going to be 25 to 35
Now,
IBU.
I'm not talking about like pub beer or the garage beer.
Well,
That's
blonde was
like
the blonde was
that's like
more
the
like a pilsner.
lager.
Was more like a lager version. Like cream ale and blondes were a very similar
similar
beer.
lager, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still going to pay the same premium.
Oh, the same price point.
Yeah.
They don't cost as much to produce, but
exactly.
You said cost, and here we are talking about the cost of beer, and I'm thinking how much
Gonna
you
go
use
down
it.
to Tucson now. Yeah, gonna go down to Tucson.
That's hilarious, huh?
Well, that's a terrible
no
spot
grass
for
that
that.
grows in Tucson. No grass that grows in Tucson. No
got
grass,
that
no
fucking
grass, no grass, no
randomly in
grass.
the middle of the
no
fucking
grass grows in
broadcast.
This is
Tucson.
hilarious. No, I should leave it in here.
No, you shouldn't.
Why not?
Oh my
It's
god.
funny, hilarious. All right, back at it.
What we're talking. So you said cost, and I started thinking about. We're talking about cost. But yeah, the price of a blonde ale is the same as an IPA.
Right.
Yeah.
When I go to the bar,
Beer is beer, right? Like,
when I go to the bar, I'm get a blonde ale from, or get what is it, 906? I went to the bar this one time. Oh, can I get your IPA? They give me is it the Stone Walker 906 or?
Firestone
The
Walker.
Firestone Walker
Yeah.
906, yeah.
Yeah, it is
It's their famous blonde ale. And I'm like, can I get the IPA? She's like, oh, 906 is an IPA. I'm like, all right, well, first time I had 906. This is, I don't know about this beer. This is just not that great. Turns out I'm like, oh, this is a blonde.
It's
And
not an IPA.
It's not
Yeah,
an IPA at all. So yeah, this 906 was the same price as an IPA, which has way more hops
Sure.
and way more cost to it, way more everything. These breweries are getting away with murder.
Well, I
selling a blonde
they're
ale.
like a lot. A lot of it is like flattening the curve out between like, cost of production versus versus
Got me a
per ounce
high
price, so,
IPA
yeah.
and a nice like light blonde.
Right, so
And then
they
they'll
sell a little bit.
even each
The
other out.
blonde's a little bit higher price point than cost, and
Yeah.
and to flatten out the
Yeah,
high
for-
price point of
for me,
because
all my
IPA
stuff
is
is-
like a stupidly like you get into like 6 ounces. 6 ounce per barrel dry hop, fucking
Yeah, I never
or
did
six, excuse
that.
me, like pounds per barrel of dry hop, which is like 6 ounces in a 5-gallon batch for us in
I couldn't-
homebrew land.
I don't think I could
Shit
get
is
that
expensive.
much,
Yeah,
that many hops. I
Even
mean,
if you're
I
buying
could,
on
but-
contract, you're still paying like
I had to buy them
fucking bucket.
internationally,
Yeah.
and pay tax and
Stupid
duty and
It's a lot. You're paying quite a bit.
anyways, let's get on with this cost.
So one of the things about some of those like house beers you can do is like really simplify the recipe. What I like about some of those beers is they let the base malt do most of the talking.
Okay.
Right? So base malt is generally cheaper than your specialty ingredients, usually about half price almost, depending on varietal. So $1.50 on the well, God, I did a little digging today and looking at like More Beer, Northern Brewer, and some of these big outfits like selling base malt for like $2.50, $2.79 a pound. Like, geez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's this?
I saw it on like More Beer and Northern Brewer today. Like
Online. This is
yeah,
online.
online,
stuff.
yeah, per
Ooh,
pound pricing. I'm like, wow,
That's not good.
It's not great.
That's like huge packaging price and huge shipping price.
Yeah, well, but if you buy enough, you get free shipping, but you're paying for the shipping in the base malt.
Right.
category.
You're paying for that. Yeah. You're definitely paying for shipping in that cost.
Right. It's tied in there kind of thing. So I'm like seeing a little bit, the free shipping model's definitely gone. Like it's still out there and a thing, like, but you can see where you're paying for it. Right. But letting the base malt, they are going to be generally cheaper than your specialty malts. Specialty malt's going to take more labor just to fucking make the damn things, more steps involved in the malt day. Higher price point. You don't sell as many of them, so generally if you're storing them as a retailer, you got to charge more just to justify the expense of sitting around. But I like the beers that let the base malt be the star of the show. So I find quality base malts that I really like, like a pale two-row that has just enough depth and character that it's not boring, it's not insipidly one-dimensional. It's got some character to it.
Are you promoting a smash beer here?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm saying letting that beer be the star. So when I like simple grain bills is kind of my nutshell.
Simple grain bill. You got a
so I've got
two-row.
a base malt and maybe one other. Like if I want to accentuate a malt characteristic, be it nutty or bready or biscuity or graham cracker, kind of like one of those kind of. I get a couple of different flavors I can choose from. So I'll do base malt plus one flavor.
Plus one. Okay.
And that's usually, my favorite's fucking Munich. I'll throw Bonlander at just about every beer. Honestly, it's good. I really love it. So Turo and Munich makes for a fucking good beer.
And you could make a lot of different beers with it.
Damn near all of them. Yeah, yeah. And then and so simple grain bill. If I need a little color, I might go with some a little darker malt. Or even a crystal malt. I'm not afraid to use a little bit of crystal malt. If
you're after making the most inexpensive beer you can, and you really don't care about color, I mean, you don't need to add something just for color. Because color means, blindfold yourself. If you really perceive your beer different because of its color, blindfold yourself.
Yeah.
Save money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, hold on. A stout? Okay, I can tell the difference between a stout and a white stout.
I have pulled I put blindfolds on tasters for those head to head, and I asked him like I didn't give him one of these is stouts, one of these not kind of tests. I said, what kind of beer does this taste like? Stout. I'm getting stout. So you'd expect so big old inky black stout. Yeah. All right, take your blindfold off. That's pretty good, right? It tastes like the thing.
And it's blonde?
It's blonde, yeah. If you tell them one of these is stout and one of these not, that's probably going to skew the results.
You have 4 others in front of you. In a row, you were...
Oh, just blindfold them, taste this one beer.
In a row. Oh,
what does it taste like?
Only one beer?
And what kind of beer does it taste like?
Only one beer.
Yeah, what are you tasting?
Beer.
Yeah, but I said, what are you tasting? What kind of beer are you tasting?
You didn't have
And they drink it and they go,
others?
fucking stout, every time. I was like, well, now take your fucking mask off. And it's kind of this, but if you did in a white stout, if you said, hey, one of these is a stout, one of these isn't, they'd probably pick it. You'd probably pick it out. Yeah.
You better blind taste me one of these days.
All right, next time I make one. I'll do it.
Bring it on, brother.
So
we can have a blind tasting on air.
Base malt's doing the heavy lifting. Episode. Reducing your special malt's going to save a little bit of money for you. I think recipes with 9 grains are going to cost more than recipes with 3, just on average there. So you mentioned buying your stuff in bulk.
Yep. Can I buy a 50-pound bag from you?
Yeah. And there is a sack rate for specialties.
No, I had to mill it myself.
Yeah.
I had to store it myself.
So I did the math on a mill, and you're looking at generally about $200 is the price point. So that's going to be like $9.95 to $10 per batch. But if it was batch 41 through 81 that you were doing, that's so your progression.
Back up to the same. We're just back up to the same price,
kind of thing to save a little bit of money.
Adding equipment,
and that's before your discount. That $9.99 per batch or 18 cents per pour ratio for the mill. does not include the price per pound savings on malt, which you're
But
probably looking
malt
at like
bags
10%.
Malt bags don't go store in your shed. They don't go store on your back porch. They don't go store.
You want it. You got to keep them away from moisture,
Yeah,
air.
they have to be
in a
stored
good
correctly.
sealed environment.
So
It's
now
a
we're
thing.
talking. We have to buy a container for it.
Yeah,
and that's
So,
more cost.
Yep. And
Yes.
an airtight container
Yep.
is sufficient.
Airtight,
Keeping it
moisture tight.
away from the rodents. Don't store it near
big
garbage, right?
Pet food. A big pet food.
Pet foods containers, airtight.
containers
Yeah,
are really good for that.
those do it. And an open bag. I've had. So I've read some reports on like Brewlosophy did one on an open bag or a 1-year-old milled grain even. So they bought a bag of grain, they milled half of it and stored the rest for a year, and then brewed the same beer.
And was the delta
And tasters could not tell the difference.
the difference between it? Was the delta
two.
in the alcohol?
It was like a 4.5 lager kind of
Okay,
beer.
so maybe not too bad.
Nothing huge, but nothing to hide behind either.
So yeah, they just used it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and tasters could not reliably pick out the year-old version of it.
Year-old, yeah.
So
because there's other flavors involved when you're making beer, not just
right,
old grain.
yeah.
So
it
are
was,
you
it was
saying-
pretty
you're
good.
saying-
So
you're saying
storing it,
Yeah.
you
You
it can hang out for a bit.
can use it.
If you're a regular brewer, you're going to get through it. Now, I wouldn't buy maybe a sack of acidulated malt or something. You're only using a couple ounces of it once in a while because you're going to
50
sit
pounds.
on that for too damn long.
For
You know,
5
like
years.
Melanoid, Special B,
Yeah, these aren't the
acid
ones, no.
malt, probably not. But you sometimes you can get like the 10 pound. There's 10-pound pricing on certain things as well.
That wouldn't be bad.
So you can save a little bit of coin. Now,
Special B would
you are going to be
one
into
I'd do
you
10
are going to
pounds
be
of.
into a mill at that point.
Yeah.
And storage, but with a mill, gosh, you could play around with your extract potential changes with your mill gap settings. If you can still functionally separate the solids from the liquids, you can get higher yield percentages with finer crush, but you
finer
still
grain
have
crush.
you're going to have more
Stuck
problems
mash.
separating. More
There's-
problems separating it later.
Well, there's something everywhere.
yeah,
When you change something, something else has to accommodate for it.
every time it's weird that way. It's weird.
Yeah, it's symbiotic relationships of brewing.
So hops. Let's talk about like saving money on hops. It's tougher if you are a big IPA, like a IPA
tough.
only brewer. I've used to be one.
Ben, do you sell them by the pound?
We do. Was a lot of times half-pound varieties as well.
Oh,
I can get.
half-pound,
Yeah,
all right.
depends on who I'm buying
Pound
from.
of pellets,
Half-pound of pellets.
easy to store.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
You do have storage concerns with that as well. And it's funny, the storage concerns, every time I've visited a brewery and, gotten the tour and they take you back to their cold storage. Here's where we store our hops.
Every
and it's a
time.
Fucking
It's in the freezer.
walk-in. Yeah, right. It's always
And
what's in
all
the
these
walk-in.
open
Yeah.
bags.
Yeah, well, there's two types that I see. So I see some bags that are rolled over and taped down, and some that are just rolled over.
Yeah.
Right, no tape, and that's it. That's all I've seen. I've never seen a vacuum seal like a post production,
Never.
or like nothing
Nope.
like that. And your 1 ounce nitro purge packaging is a pristine a hop as anybody can ever get. You are spoiled in homebrew on that front alone.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to, well, you'd have to have a vacuum pack.
Yeah, if you buy them, if you're
Food
buying
saver,
in bulk,
whatever.
Yeah, you
Well,
buy
you
them
buy
in
a
bulk.
pound. Yeah, buy a pound, right?
Yeah.
You buy a pound of them
And
and
it
the pellets, and then you
better be a
use
hop
couple-
that you're going to use a lot of,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
if it's
my
only calls
bittering
for
hop.
1 ounce a cluster, a pound is you're going to be
Well, I
sitting
had
on
to, I
like,
did do that for the
for
brewery.
16 beers, right?
Yeah.
A brewery's going to be like
And then-
1 pound, 11 pound, 22 pound, and 44 pound.
And Miguel would vacuum pack them
Yeah.
once he was done. Such a good guy.
But if you picked a couple of like good dual purpose all rounder, like good aromatics, good bittering potential that you can make a lot of different beers with, like you'd get to learn them inside out. Like you'd spot them in a lineup, but you'd kind of know how they function, how they play well. And you can get them in bulk and save a little money on pound with not a whole lot of packaging concerns. I think if you were buying a pound and you were using, a couple ounces per batch on that, even if you didn't seal that bag up,
It's gonna stay
stick it in
okay
the
in the
freezer.
freezer.
It's probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to smell like cheese or feet in 6 months.
Right.
They're probably going to be okay. Like, you're going to be so okay, it's hardly probably worth mentioning. Like, home brewers, we like to scare ourselves. We read all these, like, oh, oxidized hops smell like feet and, like, going to fuck up your beer, or, like, only suitable for making lambics, and I don't like lambics, and I don't want to make that. I can't have that in my beer. And, like, we just get, like, kind of fucking paranoid about all of the pitfalls, because, like, so much of the literature of the past has been like, oh, you want to make beer? Well, don't do this, you know, like, oh God, that sounds scary. Like, I'll never be a successful brewer. It's like, fuck off. Make fucking beer. It's gonna taste like beer. You're gonna drink beer. It's gonna be the best beer you've ever fucking made.
Right. As long as it's not bad, it's gonna be the best.
You didn't get an infection, did you? Oh no infections here. Great, high five, you win. Did you want to drink it? Like, I tell people in class all the time, you make a beer, you drink it, and if you want to drink another one immediately, high five, you win. That's it. All right. Yeast. How do you save money with yeast?
Oh, that's the easiest.
Yeah, you do what the pros do, baby.
That's the hardest.
Reuse your yeast.
That is tough.
It is a whole ass different art, though. And so this is probably the biggest thing. As you get better, this is probably the biggest place you'll see it in. I try to explain this one in the shop a lot. Like, if you harvest your yeast or refuse the wrong, like if you do it wrong, you're kind of fucking yourself up, because there's always kind of like a bell curve distribution of yeast cells in any given pack.
Yep. Have we talked about this before?
We might have.
No,
I don't know if maybe we haven't.
Of a little bit. We've touched on it.
So in the you know the first end of the shallow end, you know, the first shallow end of that, there's always yeast that go to bed early. They never finish the job.
Yep.
They're kind of lazy motherfuckers.
You don't want those
who
guys.
quit early.
Quitters.
Right. His name's Bob. I used to work with him.
Jesus.
Which is like Bob
You
goes
pulling
fucking.
him out.
Yeah, I hate, you know, like Bob was
Bob.
a dick. You know, yeah.
Bob.
No, I'm kidding. There was no Bobs.
I remember Bob.
Yeah. There's no Bobs. So just insert random name here.
Minions.
Then you have the, like, you've got like and in the middle you've got kind of like the yeast
the heavy hitters
that do all the good work for you. The ones you count on. The ones these are the ones they're talking about when they describe what yeast could do. These are the guys they're talking about. And there's always a couple in the next shallow end that never go to bed. Never flocculate, never do any of that stuff. These are like the teenagers and fucking petulant, like
until the last little drop is gone from the keg.
So that's kind of your distribution of yeast cells. Now, those guys at the tail end who never go to bed, we actually count on them, especially if we're bottling beer. We want those guys there.
They're gonna eat our diacetyl, right?
Well, more than that is they're the ones who hang out the longest. So when we package the beer and add a little bit more sugar, they'll eat that up, carbonate it in the bottle, and then eventually go to bed. Right?
So we love those teenagers.
So they're fine. They have their purpose. But in reusing your yeast, if you harvest, like, especially if you have a conical, and a lot of guys get into like buying a conical fermenter, which is going to add about, I would say
$800.
Well, if it's at $5 per $100, so you've been $700. That's $35 per batch of beer. So that's $70 divided by that. You're back up to $3 a fucking pint.
This only means I have to brew more.
Anyway,
to get my price down.
So a lot of guys who get into conicals, like, they want to do like the yeast harvest thing. And what can happen is if you harvest too early, you're going to get more of the yeast that never go that go to bed early. So you have under attenuated beer.
Right.
That kind of, like, it's too sweet. It didn't finish. It didn't do its thing. And since you regrew those yeast up in succession, like, you know, you pitched them on new wort,
they're going to be lazy. Don't pick up the lazy yeast off the top layer.
Don't breed those guys.
Okay, you're getting at always harvest from the middle of your cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always that.
Because all the lazies are at the bottom. Don't penetrate too deep. Do you have one of those stainless steel turkey basers at the shop?
No, I don't have a stainless steel.
Dang, I need one of those.
I got a wine thief. Same way.
It might work.
Yeah.
Is it plastic?
Yeah.
I don't like
it's not gonna
plastic.
scratch up. Yeah, it's gonna last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
For a wine thief, just taking a sample out, you're never gonna scratch that up.
No, probably never.
Because you're gonna rinse it right away and you're gonna be done. You just hang it dry.
I know, but I don't like plastic. Like, I don't know, it deforms. The molecules in plastic deform differently than the molecules in stainless steel.
What interval of time?
No, it's not interval of time. It's with temperature.
Oh, but what temperature are you using at?
Who knows what happens to it?
At 67 degrees fermentation? Is that what temperature? Okay.
No.
Anyways, we're not going to get into a plastics conversation.
Can you
but sounds
order
like a
me?
good
Can you
yeah.
order me a
I'll see what I
stainless
can do.
steel?
I can see, or glass. I can do something.
dang.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, man! My sponsor needs to accommodate the
I
customers.
can. Anyways, yeah, I can do something like that.
Jesus, we need to get your mail order going.
So
it's
it's coming. The website is
like, yeah,
under
I've got
construction
this,
right
man.
now.
I'll drop ship right to your house. No problem.
So back to yeast harvesting.
Okay, you better hurry.
Better hurry. Are we running out of time?
We're getting there.
Okay, so we might have to do a whole show on
yeast harvesting.
Yeast harvesting
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff. Like sounds like that is a thing. So
That's a whole-
you got to do it
that's a
right,
whole show.
but it can be done. Brewing. The next thing. Brewing efficiency, and I'm not talking about like efficiency for like chasing the dragon of like, oh, I got 82% of brew house efficiency on extraction. I mean, like none of that. I'm talking about not fucking up. I'm talking about keeping a clean process, wasting less beer, not dumping beer for minor flaws, or overbuilding a recipe just in case you miss your gravity. Like being good at being a better brewer at this stuff. Brewing efficiency means that brewing sloppy is expensive.
It is.
So don't do that. Don't do that.
Very expensive.
Gear, FOMO,
Man,
fear of missing out. Oh my God.
When I mess up a batch, it costs me a whole batch.
Right. That gets really that's expensive.
That adds to my cost of my next beer.
It's tough as a home brewer, like especially if you don't, if you're not fully versed in all the beer flaws and kind of what, and I'm not either. I mean, I've only been at this for 15 years, and there's still surprises for all of us. But when you're getting started and like everything sounds like a boogeyman, every infection sounds like a boogeyman, and you don't know which one's which, and you go looking for flaws. When you find them in your beer, oh my God, you're gonna freak out and you're gonna pitch it. I'm like, never be in a rush to pitch a beer. Let it age a little bit, and then bring it to a trusted a brewer who can help you evaluate that. Because I think, like I said, home brewers are pretty good at scaring themselves, and talk to a trusted adult. Okay,
right? Because it could age out,
and it might just be minor. That could be a young beer kind of flavor. Or it's part of the tableau, and you're just honed in on a potentially negative that you don't understand. Like I had a beer, like I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this beer? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I was like agonizing. And I went back to my notes. I'm like, oh, I used like 6 pounds of Munich in this fucking beer. That's why it's so goddamn malty.
Sweet.
And as soon as I knew why the flavor was in my mouth, I'm like, oh, this beer's great. Oh. This beer's delicious after that.
It worked.
Like, fucking weird. I think
turned out like
understanding kind of these
6
things.
pounds of Munich.
Yeah. All right,
man.
And, the next aspect of some of this is how to keep your costs in line is gear FOMO, the fear of missing out on all the new hot shit gear. I got some good news and bad news. Good news is you can keep it cheap, because the bad news is you don't need a conical. You don't need a conical. I'll sell you a conical, but you don't need one. I will totally sell you a conical. It's fine.
You need a conical. You need a conical.
You don't need a conical.
I have 3 in my garage. I used to have 3. Yeah. I used to have 3 in the...
Want a conical, definitely.
Yeah.
But maybe you don't need one.
You don't have to have them. Yeah. How do I harvest my yeast if I don't have a conical?
Yeast
it's
washing
really hard.
Generally, I don't do as many batches. I don't do maybe like 10 batches of repitching, but I might just simply brew light beer to dark beer, less hoppy to hoppy in succession, and I just pitch yeast on top of everything.
Repitch?
Right, yeah, like I make a beer the day I rack off the old one, and I repitch right on top of it. I don't worry about harvesting because it's all in there. Yeah. If I had a really clean wort, like not a lot of trub in there, I didn't have a lot of break material, so I don't have as much trub and junk in the fermenter, I'll do that maybe three times without batting an eye. It's into a clean fermenter, but I'll pitch that stuff on, fresh beer, swirl around, pitch that, and I'll do that.
You can do that a couple times.
Do that a couple times. And you get all of it. There is yeast washing protocols, but they're multi-step, and each step is a new vector for potential fuck-ups. Yep. Yeah. So does everything need to be stainless? really. We were just talking about like stainless turkey basters versus plastic. Like PET
Depends.
and high density polyethylene are completely inert. They're not leaching anything. They're alcohol, acid, and food grade. They're really good.
They're really
Not
good.
all plastics are evil. Some plastics are evil, but these are not those
Don't
ones.
leave them in your boil kettle.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't boil them to clean them either.
You might not even need to upgrade your kit every year. And I'm speaking for someone who's sinned on that front too. I went from extract to all grain in 2 beers. My first all grain setup was a double cooler mash tun, like the big Igloo coolers. Built those out.
Yep.
2 beers later, I was given a stainless steel set of keggles, so instant upgrade there. And then as soon as I used a proper mash tun that didn't have like fluted sides and a curvy lid, I had to have that too. So like it was a quick succession of oh, I need this, oh, I need this, oh, I need this. And I spent like $3,000, probably in the end of the day, $3,000 on beer gear. Did I need 100% of it? Not really. Like
Hell yeah.
Well, the beers were.
How much is sitting now?
I can't say that the beers were better because of the gear. I was also a very new brewer, so my beers got better over time. But I can also probably say a lot of that was experience.
Gear improves efficiency.
It can improve timelines
And the timeline.
not necessarily efficiency.
It can improve efficiency
if you are competent. So here's my thing about gear.
It will definitely save efficiency.
I use a bicycling analogy because I'm a cyclist. One of the things about like, oh, your $15,000 bicycle. Yeah, it fucking weighs nothing. And it's got all the fucking aero, everything on it. And it's amazing. But you won't see any more gains with that than a $500 bike if you're a fat fuck on a bike.
Well, you're only talking about 2 ounces.
Yeah, I'm saying like you're not going to see the gains in performance if you're not good at it. Like if you don't know what you're doing,
if you don't know how to use that bike,
or that big brew stand,
right?
That's not going to make better beer for you.
I'm having another beer, Ben.
Do it.
Are you?
I will too.
I mean, we got another half hour of the show. We're going extra long today.
Stock pots ferment and bucket fermenters, man, they still kick ass.
Do we have any questions from brewers out there? Any listeners?
I don't know. They should email your questions to. If you got burning questions, want to hear about it on air, want to answer on air, perhaps, email us at the beercraftpodcast@gmail.com. Got that?
The Beercraft
Podcast.
All one word.
All one word. At Gmail.
Gmail.
Yeah, we have a Gmail account.
Nice.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, I'm glad our sponsor told us.
Yeah. See, I just did.
Our producer.
So on gear, the core idea here is skills compound, but your gear, you're not so much. Like the price of your gear compounds, but not the way you want.
You could buy used stuff.
Yeah.
Save some money. Okay. Good.
No.
All right. Well,
so one of the things about cheap beer we need to talk about then is like, if our goal is to make cheaper beer, there's an idea in the marketplace, and I was kind of guilty of it this afternoon when I was trying to buy beer. Cheap beer being bad beer.
yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, I can give Rainier a ration of shit, but I will go to my grave drinking Rainier. Yep. I still love that beer.
I know, like I said earlier,
I
I'll
love
drink
that
any
beer. Just because it's cheap does not make it bad.
Not bad.
Just because your dad drank it doesn't mean it's bad.
My
either.
mom and dad drank Michelob with the old bottle and the little tab.
Yep. I remember my dad had PGD, which is Pabst Genuine Draft. It was the black and gold can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pabst Genuine Draft.
PGD. Yeah. Like Miller, but Pabst.
They're biting off Miller, huh? Especially with the golden black.
Yeah, I know. Wow. I was like, wow, cool.
Lawsuits coming.
But those beers, like, those beers have their place. And, like, if you can make something tasty at home that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg and it competes on a price point with those beers, and you can keep it on tap or in the bottle whenever you want, that's not a bad thing. Nor is keeping a case of it in your refrigerator for when company comes over. Or a case of PBR or Rainier or MGD.
Are you saying to have like a lone tap on the end of my kegerator that has like
guest beer
in there?
Well, it depends on the guest. Like, there are guests you want to leave at the end of the night, and there are guests you like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to get this guy drunk. Like, they can stay. It's fine. She can stay. It's fine. I'll get
This is all the beer that didn't really make it.
Yeah.
In the last
keg.
Like,
when my in-laws come over, I don't give them the 7% beers. I give them the 5% beers. They can safely get their fucking asses
right,
home.
Yeah. You don't want to get them drunk. No, to stay the night.
Some of these historic working class styles were simple, but they were also, for their day, very elegant options. Clean fermenting, crisp, dry finishing, blonde beers really did take over the world in terms of sales volume. And I think for a fucking reason. Like
lagers, because they're cheaper to make.
I don't know if this is about cheap, like less than some of the hops, but the long-term storage options, that drove prices up. But blonde beer in general, like, well, Jesus Christ, in the whole of human history, we had never seen that for, until the last 500 years. Like, it is not an old invention.
Right.
It is a modern take on beer. I'm of the opinion that great beer never really requires expensive ingredients. I take, some of my lessons from restaurant work. A properly cooked chicken breast with just salt and pepper can beat every shitty, like overcooked chicken with, $10,000 worth of spices on there. Like, you can do a lot of really good with simple ingredients, treated right, treated with respect and care.
That's right.
That doesn't require a lot of like extra tech or gear or understanding.
And you can make it taste great.
You can make the simplest things taste amazing with the right approach. And doesn't that sound like fun to find?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think of home brewing, like every homebrew story that you'll ever have. Like, every batch of beer you make is more fun than any of your beer runs. Like, we may get one story of a late night beer run with our friends that is good enough that they'll make a movie out of it and call it like Hangover 43 or something like that. And if we're very, 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 very lucky, if we're very lucky,
younger age,
if we're very lucky, we'll only have one of those stories. Because at the end of the day, that story is fucking trauma. Like, watch that movie. Like, if that was your day, that's a fucked up day. Like, nobody was having fun until you watched it. And I think every beer...
Nobody remembers the fun they had.
But every brew day could be way more fun.
Can be.
I think so.
Oh, it's going to be way more fun than a trip to Fred Meyer to buy my 6-pack.
Fuck yeah. In your flip-flops and pajama pants. And,
come on.
dragging your ass into public again because you're out of beer.
Oh, dang it. Again, every day.
Just don't run out. Make your own and don't run out. It's a good goal.
Keep it
going. It's a good goal. It's a good
Do you
goal.
have a subscription service?
To a lot of different things. The beer, not yet.
That'd be good.
What do you think about that, guys? You think of like a beer of the month just shipped right to your door?
Yep.
Make beer?
I mean, we're
beer?
talking about making beer because if I'm drinking beer, I need to make beer.
Well, that's why we're drinking beer while talking about beer.
If I'm thinking about it, if I drink a 6-pack a day, how many batches of beer do I have to make a week? At least one.
Yeah.
So I need to do this. I need to have once a week beer service.
So here's what we can do for brewing in tough economic times. Start with brewing a lower gravity beer. I'd say start with brewing your own fucking beer. Like, it's cheaper than the stuff you can do at home. Even if you got to buy new equipment today and learn everything, you can do it cheaper.
We learned that it's half the price.
Yeah.
At least.
50% off is pretty good.
We can get it
pretty
down.
good price. Yeah.
We can get down lower than that.
Brew a lower gravity beer. Take that down a little bit.
True.
Yep.
Nobody likes lower gravity beers.
I don't know. I
This is a beer
don't mind
podcast.
session beers. I'll drink more of them. There are days I just want to drink beer. And
Days
I'd
that I
rather
just want to
drink.
pee.
There are days.
That's an old man joke.
There are days. Yeah, that's definitely old man joke. You can reuse your yeast to a degree pretty easily.
You're right.
Get better, like practice the art of brewing, become better at brewing. We'll shave your time, we'll shave your costs, all of the things. Stop chasing.
Efficiency is the key.
So efficiency in terms of timeline is a good goal to have. Efficiency in terms of like brew house efficiency and malt extraction, blah blah blah. That's chasing the dragon.
It's paying attention. It's called paying attention to every process that's happening in the moment.
Intention with your brewing.
Yeah, you can't be drinking. Oh, that's just like what I was telling you. I can't do my job when I'm drinking. Like I'm always popping open a homebrew. So when you're popping open a homebrew, and you're doing your brew day, just don't do too many.
Yeah, if you tend to break out in fuck ups from drinking, maybe not as many on brew day.
I'm guilty.
We've all been there. Like, what is this bag of real important looking hops at the end of the fucking brew day? Like,
I don't know.
That's your bittering charge, buddy. Like, I wonder how that's going to turn out. Not great. Not great, my friend. Not great. Yeah.
Start it over. Boil that thing again.
Master that one recipe of the kind of beer you never want to run out of. Master that.
Right,
keep it on top. Keep it on tap or in the bottle. Never, ever, ever run out. And your life will be better. I guarantee it. That was a lot of show. We had a lot of shit to cover today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Make beer cheap again. Make cheap beer again.
We drank a few beers. I don't think these are cheap beers either.
These ones are not. These are like $12. These are $12.99.
And now when I'm adding mango to my beer, I'm getting up there.
Fruity beer.
So we're talking about making beers in low economic times, and what would it take for you to make the best beer you can with the least amount of money, like that? Just limit.
So
your
I challenge you. You guys get out there and brew something. Let me know.
You can do it.
All right.
And we have ways at Northwest Brewer Supply, as our sponsor would say, to help you with most of that efficiency.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.